Okay, so this video is going to cover how to make a multi-column content area or body layout and how to get your widgets in there. It's a little bit more complex. We have a one-column layout, a two-column layout, left and right, and a three-column layout that are pre-built in here. But if you want to go 4 columns or more, or maybe you want to do something really special with 3 columns, this is the video for you. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go over and we're going to create ourselves a new sidebar. And we're going to call this MultiColumn and hit add. All right, so it's been created. Let's go and add some widgets to it. So we're going to find that it is right here, and we can go and add some widgets to it. So what are we going to add? Well, why don't we go and put a, let's think about this, a custom menu in the first column. Let's give it a, we're going to make it the side menu, and the menu type is going to be a primary vertical. That makes sense. Maybe we'll give it main menu. And do we want any particular style? Let's just see here. We'll leave it at that for now. Okay. Oh, and a default style, we're going to give it a style of, let's say, left. Okay. So what else should we put in it? Well, how about just a general HTML box, okay? And in this HTML box, we're going to paste some content. Now, I've had this content in here from a previous video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a box again. I'm going to do a box style of that. And this is an example HTML box. All right, we're going to hit save. Okay. Next, what else are we going to put in here? Oh, good question. How about a let's just see here, maybe a Google map. Will that work? My location. Let's do the office here. So, and then finally, why don't we put the content region, the content region for the page, the content body. We're going to place that there. Okay, so we're just going to leave that by default, just the way it is. Box style, maybe we will go and just make it a content. There's something like that. Okay, we're going to save. Okay, so if we left it like this, for example, when we use a sidebar using the 2-column or the 3-column layout, where a sidebar is assigned to a layout that is displayed on the left, we can just have these widgets stacked. But if we want to use it and divide it into columns, we have to use a column break in between. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to drag and I'm going to move. Let's just move this guy here. Okay, so that means that we are going to have a custom menu and then a break and then another column break. And then another column break. Okay, so that means that this is going to be in one column, this is going to be in another, this is going to be another, and this is going to be in the 4th column. Okay, so how do we get that in the page? Perfect. Why don't we go and create ourselves a brand new layout? Okay, what we're going to do actually is we're going to copy the minimize layout right here. We're going to say copy, boom. Just hit the copy, it creates ourselves a minimized copy, and we're going to call this a minimized 4. And instead of using just a content region widget in the middle, what we're going to do is we're going to disable that, and we're going to add ourselves a sidebar. So in the traditional sense, a sidebar goes on the side, but we have the ability to go and place it in a row. So if you can think about it like this, each one of these are rows. So the minimize header goes first, and then the breadcrumb widget goes below that, and then something else goes below that. And previously it was just a single widget, which was the content region. That's how you get the one column. But we're going to go and select multi-column. And what that's going to do is it's going to, based upon where we placed our column breaks, it's going to create columns. Okay. So we're going to say, yeah, automatically go with the auto. We could explicitly say, you know, let's go with like 3 columns, and it's not going to be quite as pretty. But we're going to say auto. We're going to say contained. We don't need to change the style. But what we might do, and by default, we break it up into, well, the Bootstrap system is 12 columns wide. And so we say this one is 3, 3, 3, and 3, and that totals 12. We could make this one 2, and this one also 2, and this one also 2, and this one is going to be 6. And if you see, we're hovering over here, we're going to see how it's broken up just by the little tooltip here. 2, 2, 2, and 6. That totals 12. Okay? And we're going to save these changes. And I really hope for the purpose of this example that all my widgets are displaying. Cross our fingers here, and we're going to create a new page. So this new page is going to be called example 4 column, and we're going to use minimize 4. Okay. We're going to see if we can't, are we going to paste some text in here? We're not going to paste quite that much for this particular example. Let's hope that that's going to be enough there. Good. And we're going to hit publish. So using the Big Bang Theory of testing, we're going to hit view page and see how it all turned out. All right, here we go. So it actually worked out pretty good. So we have a column here that is 2/12 or 1/6. Another one that's 2/12, another one that is 2/12. Now keep in mind that this particular map widget doesn't have any styling around it. And this one, which is 6/6 or 1/2. Okay, and it is all designed to you know, come one after the other. Well, what if we decided that, you know what, we want to have something else beneath this map? What do we want to have? And maybe we want to make this a little bit wider. Well, what do? Okay, so first of all, let's go back to the layout editor. Okay, we're going to go to the minimize 4, and that widget really, that custom menu really needed to be wider. So we're going to grab and make that just a little bit wider. The map here was fine. The HTML box widget, yeah, you know, it really could be a little bit, bigger, hey? Wouldn't that be nice? Why don't we go and move that one so that it's underneath the content region widget? So what we're going to do is, well, we are going to save this. Actually, you know what? We're going to ditch saving it just for the time being. We're going to go back over to widgets. We think about how we want this displayed. And we're going to say, you know what? I really just want to, I want to place the map under the custom menu. So you see how we're doing that? This one is going to be here, that one's going to be below it, and then the column break, and then the HTML box, and then you know what? We don't need all of these column breaks. Why don't we do that? Get rid of that one. So this is actually, in theory, now just a 3-column layout, but we're, you know, choosing to stack these things dynamically how we see fit. Okay, that's all been saved. Let's go back to that layout editor. Now, if we go back there, we're going to definitely need to make some changes to that particular sidebar region. You see how we had said it's 4 columns? Well, obviously it's not 4 columns anymore. So let's just go and what you can do is you can hit auto and then choose 3 and then go back to auto. That's the best setting. And we can make this 3. And then, geez, what would look best? It would look best if these two were probably the same width. So in that sense, 4, 4, and 4 looks probably pretty good. So why don't we just save it at that? Hit changes, save changes. Okay. Let's see here. Reload. So all of a sudden our map is now below here, and we have our HTML box, and then we have our content region for the page here. So I think you can probably see here is that by using the sidebar as a row within the layout, you can add a whole range of widgets in whatever layout you want. So for example, you could have You could have as many rows as you like with as many different columns as you like. The limit really is just your imagination and what you really want to put on your page. The typical sidebar on the left, content on the right, or vice versa, we're not restricted to it. We have those layouts, the minimize one column, the two column left and right, and the minimize three column. And they're there for the, the standard page that you typically see. But if you want to go and start doing things a little bit different and have a website that stands out, you can, given using this sidebar as a row, you can make the arrangements of your widgets and whatever you want in your page, however you like. Okay, just takes a little bit of trial and error. And when you go and make a change to your sidebar through the widget panel, changing around which widgets are displayed where, it's always good to go back and test and then take a look at your layout. Geez, do I need to change the number of columns? Save and test and go back and forth. But the really wonderful part of this particular type of layout is that it's very easy on the fly, globally, to go to your widget control panel and move something around. So for example, here's the multi-column. You know what? I realized I don't want that Google map there. I want it below the below the HTML box that's in the center. Well, you know what? I really want the content region on the left-hand side and move the custom menu on to the right side. So just by changing that around here, we have now done that. So this is going to move over here, that's going to move over there, and that map is going to move below there just by hitting reload, and just like that, there you go. Okay. So I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you get something out of it. As I said, it is more technical than the default, one column, two column, three column style layouts, but there's way more power and functionality available to you if you choose to go this route.